commander lives with his young wife in a large house. Mu Guang works there as a servant. He is responsible for everything: cooking, cleaning, and maintaining the house after the commander leaves. The commander's wife constantly watches him, observing his every move. One day, the commander tells his wife that he has to leave for a month. The very next day, he departs. Now, the wife is alone in the house. While Mu Guang is working, she picks up a wooden sign and throws it onto the floor. As he rushes to pick it up, she stops him and places it back herself. Then she tells him, if he ever sees the sign out of its place, he should come upstairs. The next day, when Mu Guang arrives, the sign is no longer in its place. He notices it immediately. He hesitates. The commander's warning echoes in his mind, but he cannot disobey the wife's order. Slowly, he walks upstairs. The room is dark. The wife asks him to fix the light. As he does, he accidentally looks toward the bed. He quickly looks away. Through a small gap, he catches a glimpse of her lying there. She then asks him about his dreams. Mu Guang quietly replies, he wants a promotion. So one day he can return to his wife and child with honor. The next day, the sign is again out of place, but this time fear takes over. He chooses not to go upstairs. Hours pass in silence. Finally, the wife comes down herself, furious. She scolds him harshly, then turns and walks back upstairs. After a moment of hesitation, Mu Guang follows her. He slowly enters the room. It's dark. He asks her to turn on the light. As the light comes on, a stunning sight appears before his eyes. He freezes for a moment. She tries to draw him closer, but he's too afraid. The wife scolds him again and walks away. That night, Mu Guang cannot stop thinking about her. Her image stays in his mind, refusing to fade. On his way, the instructor warns him. The wife plans to fire him, and if that happens, his military career is over. The instructor makes it clear. Only the commander's wife can influence his promotion. If he wants to become a cadre, he must fix things with her. 5 years ago, Mu Guang joined the army with one goal: to become a cadre. He married a cadre's daughter and promised his family. He would only return after achieving that rank. But years passed, and he was never promoted. Now this is his only chance. The next morning, he returns to the house. He prepares breakfast and writes a letter of repentance. He begs her for another chance, but she ignores him. With no other option, he falls to his knees. He pleads desperately. Seeing his desperation, the wife gives him a command. She asks him to take off his clothes, and he removes his upper clothes. But she tells him to remove everything. He obeys. He moves closer to her and kisses her. He loses control and rushes, but she slaps him, telling him to slow down. What follows brings them closer. Afterward, the phone rings. She tells the instructor she no longer wants to fire him. Then she gives Mu Guang the rest of the day off. The next day, Mu Guang tells her he cannot come upstairs anymore. Soldiers outside have started to notice. In response, she pulls a gun on him. He freezes for a moment, then walks toward her, touches her gently, and embraces her. He carries her to the bed. Their relationship deepens. After making intense love, she faints, leaving him shaken. But after a few minutes, she regains consciousness. The following day, everything changes. She asks him to sit with her. She feeds him food she prepared herself. She applies ointment to his injuries, cuts his nails, cleans his ears. They grow closer with each passing moment. Soon, they decide to go outside together. He covers her carefully and ties her to the back of his bicycle. They ride through the streets, spending time together freely. Then they return home. From that point on, she cooks for him. They eat together at the same table, but they both know their relationship cannot continue like this. She is the commander's wife. The next day, her behavior suddenly changes. She becomes cold and distant. She scolds him harshly. Then she shows him the wooden sign. back in its proper place. It's over. But Mu Guang refuses to accept it. He follows her. In the struggle, a frame on the wall breaks. She threatens to call security. Both argue intensely, knowing their love has no future. After a moment of silence, she takes his hand and places it on her chest. He lifts her again and throws her onto the bed. Their emotions take over. Later, they both confess their feelings, but fear remains. The commander could return at any moment. She calls security and asks about his return. Then she tells them she feels unsafe at night and will keep Mu Guang in the house. After that, she locks the main gate. Now they are completely alone, free inside the house. Days pass. They live without restraint. But after 3 days, Mu Guang wants to leave as he tries to get dressed. She reaches for the phone. He grabs it from her. They struggle. She breaks down crying. She promises him she will get him promoted to cadre. They both express their love again. Their emotions overflow. They begin throwing things around the house. Later, they sit outside under the open sky. That's when she reveals the truth. She is pregnant, and the commander is returning earlier than expected. Mu Guang is terrified, but she calms him, telling him to act normal. She asks him to leave, to return to his village and wait until the army calls him back. She promises to handle everything. Before he leaves, she asks him to stay one last night as his husband. The next morning, she gave him money. They hold hand for a while. He departs. On his way out, he sees the commander returning. Back at his home, Mu Guang behaves strangely. He tries to clean, cook, and work constantly. His wife becomes concerned. At night, he cannot sleep. He climbs a tower. Every time the postman passes, he runs to ask if there's a letter for him. His behavior worsens. Eventually, his family sends him back to the army. There, he receives shocking news. He has been promoted. He is given a house in the city and appointed as a factory director. But instead of celebrating, he jumps out of the vehicle and runs back to the commander's house. He sees her again. She is pregnant. She tells him if he ever needs anything, he can come to her. But the commander will return soon, so he must leave. They share one final look, and he walks away. Years pass. Mu Guang goes to her house. He bribes the guard and enters. He asks to see her, but instead, he is given a letter. The letter says, if he needs anything, he can write down and give it to guard. If he needs money, he should write the amount and address and he'll receive it. 3 days later, she tells her husband she is going back to her hometown. After that, she is never seen again.